Welcome to the 60th episode of Indie and Music Industry World, ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Nevels. Hey, yo, Joseph.
Hey, what's going on, man?
I'm
Can you hear me?
good. How's it going? Yeah, I hear you.
Great.
Yeah,
I like your glasses.
yeah. Congrats for your music. You rock. I love
Oh,
your
thank you.
sound and everything about your tracks. Congrats so much. You and welcome to my podcast. Can you tell me about your journey into music and how your early life influenced your sound? Because you're very particular.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, I grew up um, always having music around. I was always kind of an observer. I wasn't like, so much talking all the time, but I was always seeing everything. And then music was kind of my way of interpreting the world and sharing what I had inside with the world. And so I started singing just as like a little kid. I would write lyrics down from songs that like my older siblings had, different artists.
Cool.
And then my I would sing in church as a kid too. So that was kind of my foundation.
Basically, that's amazing. How did your experience shape your approach into music?
I would say just the experience, the way that relates to my um, approach is that, you know, I try to see things from a, you know, coming from a space of like depth. I never wanted to just do the trendy thing just for attention or, do something on a surface level. I always cared about the meaning behind things. So my approach to the music was always, whether it was in the lyrics or, it was handling it with care and more like quality over quantity. So I would say, yeah, just that's kind of been my approach. And like I said, having the foundation as a kid in church, like with the old school like gospel, that's all related to soul. So yeah, that's something that's kind of like the foundation that you can't really escape.
Amazing. I was very inspired by Second Guessing is amazing. How is Born a track? Because it does. Which are basically the themes that you want to talking about the into the song.
Can you repeat that? How was the
Basically, the process.
the
What
process for
inspired you
sec?
to write it? Because it's very amazing. I feel very inspired from it.
Okay, yeah, second guessing was just um, basically about a scenario where you're trying to establish something, but there's still this person may still have a hesitancy or a fear behind just going for it. And so the what I'm communicating is, you know, don't hesitate so much, follow your gut on things. And when you something inside of your spirit just knows. So you don't have to second guess. You should just already know and then you just go for it.
Amazing. Basically, how did you create the melody too? Because and just like that could represents the way you feel on the track.
Yeah, definitely. Melodies, I don't know. I usually start with the melodies in my songs. So I'll just hear them, or maybe I wake up in the morning and I have like a song just playing a melody that I've never heard before, right? And so it just kind of comes to me, and then I build from there. So usually I'll hear the melody first, like I was hearing, and then after that, I'm like, okay, what does that feel like? It should be. It's like you almost let the melody speak to you. So
Yeah.
I think, all right, what does this feel like it's saying? And then the words you just plug them in after that, so they come pretty naturally after you get the melody.
Amazing. How do you balance basically your emotional vulnerability with your musical storytelling of your music?
You know, they kind of go hand in hand with each other. So the vulnerability is a part of the storytelling process. And, I realized the more open and vulnerable I can be with the songs, the more uh, depth there can be with the storytelling. And so it's just about really opening up, and then being vulnerable and sharing that. And then I've found that is what resonates the most with people.
I'm very glad that also you got a lot of your music to the TV shows, like just like on my block on Netflix, and
Yeah,
Queen Sugar. How did you feel about it? Just like to see your music as a visual on visual projects.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah. Thank you. It's a good feeling, because it's especially when you feel like that they really understood what you wanted to share. And then when you see it next to like a soundtrack or something like this, it just, it's cool to see it go from the studio to the TV screen, because
Yeah.
that touches another audience. And then, it feels good to see it appreciated in
That's
that way.
cool because you also bring something different, because you sound blends like from R&B, just like mixing from like indie, which are
Yeah,
basically your influence in music, because you bring in something new that it's cool.
yeah. My influences, gosh, I listen to just a wide range, anything from classical all the way to, soul, R&B. Like I try to just appreciate good art in general, and I see what resonates from this, even if it's a country song. Okay, I see how they're telling stories, right? And I like understanding, like, just even the history behind music, how different genres evolved, where they started. Sam Cooke was an old soul artist who was kind of the foundation of what we know now as like soul and R&B. But then also, where I grew up in northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, there's a big like indie kind of rock type scene. So I was always exposed to different genres, and
Yeah,
so I just kind of made it my own type of, what's honest to me.
that's amazing, and I'm totally glad that that's just like from Rolling Stone, to NPR, paying attention to your music. How do you see your music in the next few years, basically?
I just want to stay consistent in terms of releasing. I have a lot of songs finished that I'll be releasing over this next year. I really want to get, especially overseas. I'd love to go, like where you are in Europe, and tour there, and just, continue growing and continue just putting out my art, sharing my art with the world.
Amazing. So I love the fact that you work just like totally independently. There are basically some decision that basically has influenced some of your decisions in music, being
Mhm.
independent.
Sure. I think it's just a matter of timing, understanding what makes sense at what time. I studied contract and entertainment law, so there's still a lot for me to learn, but I have a decent understanding of uh, how things work on the business and legal side. So yeah, it's just a matter of timing and what makes sense business wise, and
Totally.
what you're potentially capable of doing uh, independently, and when it makes sense to bring others in, if so. So
Yeah, have you just planned some new album or new EP right now to release?
oh yeah, so I have an EP called I Should Write a Book, and I'll be releasing that later this year. Up until then, I'll continue dropping singles. So I'll have another single dropping next month, and probably
That's cool.
every
You got
3 or so weeks.
support, totally. I watch you in Europe too, man. You gotta come here.
Oh yeah,
Some
absolutely,
shows.
absolutely. I'd love
Yeah.
to. I visited Italy for the first time in December. So
Oh,
I
you've
really,
been here
really loved it.
recently.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
I
Tell me
loved it.
next time you'll be here, so we can
Okay,
plan something cool. And you totally got my support for your music because you rock. I love the fact that you bring something new. That's
thank you.
what
I really
industry needs right now.
yeah, I appreciate that, and I love what you're doing too. You find, your content is really, uh, it's inspirational, but it's also you can watch it and you can learn things from the people that you're, interviewing and the content that you're sharing. So
Thank you so
definitely,
much. It's a big
absolutely,
honor to have you here. Thank you so
thank you,
much for the
thank you.
interview. Have a good
Grazie
day.
mille, grazie mille.
Grazie. Bravo. Have a
All
good
right,
day.
you too.
Bye.